You had a dream once, not a vague wish, a real one. Something specific you were going to do with your life. And then something happened. Maybe it was one thing, maybe it was 100 small things. But at some point, you made a decision that felt responsible at the time. You chose the safer option, and then you chose it again, and again. And somewhere in all those reasonable choices you looked up, and the years were gone, and the dream was still sitting exactly where you left it. And the worst part, the part that keeps you up at night, is that you cannot even tell anymore whether you gave it up, or whether you just kept waiting for a better moment that never came. This video is not about a caveman. It is about the life you stopped letting yourself want, and every single day you woke up and chose the cave instead. So you're watching this, and maybe you're thinking about your own life right now. Good, stay with that, because here's the thing about playing it safe that nobody actually says out loud.
Strength. And right now, that's all you need.
No, we don't know what's over there. Maybe nothing. It's too risky.
It's a chance.
The cave made sense when you built it. Something happened to you. Maybe one big thing. Maybe just a slow accumulation of smaller things that wore you down over time until the safer option stopped feeling like a compromise and started feeling like the only reasonable choice left. And you took it. And then you took it again the next day, and the day after that. And at some point, it stopped being a choice and just became your life. That is what people get wrong about Grug. He is not some simple cartoon character who is afraid of everything for no reason. The fear came from somewhere real. The world actually took people from him. He watched it happen, and the cave was the only thing he had left to offer the people he still had. And that is exactly why it is so hard to leave. Because the fear does not feel like fear. It feels like wisdom. It feels like experience. It has evidence. It can point to specific moments and say, look, I was right. Remember what happened last time you tried. So you listen to it. You turn something down because the last time you reached for something like that, it did not work out.
Sooner than she climbed to the top, she saw something new and died.
Just like that?
Yes!
You stay in the job. Past the point, it stopped making you happy because at least you know what you are dealing with. You do not say the dream out loud because saying it out loud makes it real, and real things can fail, and the years go, and the fear stays, and you call it being realistic. But here is what the research actually shows, and I want you to sit with this for a second. Psychologist Stephen Hayes spent years studying what happens to people who organize their lives around avoiding pain, and what he found was not that it fails immediately, it works immediately.
It's different than what the bird outside the window is doing. Because when you see it, you'll know a little bit of how to actually push on the accelerator even more. That's not the purpose of my talk.
The cave keeps the herd outside. The risk stays outside. Everything that could damage you stays outside, but so does everything that could change your life. And most people do not notice that part until it is much later than they wanted it to be. Now here is where it gets really specific, and I want you to be honest with yourself while you listen to this part. The cave needed a story, because without a story, it was just hiding, and you are not the kind of person who hides, so you built one. Maybe yours sounds like this. Now is not the right time. When things settle down a bit. When I have saved a little more. When the kids are older. When I feel more ready. When I know it is actually going to work. Those sentences feel mature.
Wasn't living! That was just not dying! There's a difference.
They feel like something a serious adult says when they have stopped being naive about how hard life is. But I want you to really hear this. Those sentences are the cave. Every single one of them. Just with different words on the door. Grug said never not be afraid to his kids like it was the greatest gift he could give them.
We do this loud. We do this as a family. And never not be afraid.
Never not be afraid. Stay small. Stay inside. If you feel the pull towards something bigger, just remember what happens to the things that leave. And you have that voice too. Maybe it sounds like your own. Maybe it sounds like someone else's that you picked up so long ago it feels like yours now. But it is in there, and it is very convincing, and it has been getting years out of you that it was never supposed to have. And if someone else's fear ever became the ceiling of your life, you know exactly how that works, because the people who built your cave usually loved you. Their fear made sense given what they had been through, but it was their fear, and somewhere along the way, you made it yours, and you have been carrying it ever since, like it was always supposed to belong to you. It was not. This is the part I really want you to feel, because the loss that comes with a safe life does not show up dramatically. It does not announce itself. It just shows up in the quiet, Sunday afternoons, when nothing is wrong and something aches anyway. 3 in the morning for no reason. When you see someone doing the thing you told yourself you would get to someday, and something moves through you that you do not quite want to name. That is it. That is the cost. Not a dramatic reckoning, just that feeling, sitting with you in the ordinary days of the life you built to keep yourself safe. And watch Grug in those moments. Really watch him. He is holding 2 things at the same time, and he does not have words for either of them. Terror that Eep will get hurt out there, and something else, something quieter, a grief for the version of himself that used to move the way she does, before the losses, before the cave, before fear got the keys. You know both of those feelings. You feel the terror when someone you love takes a risk you would not allow yourself, and you feel the other thing in the quiet, the thing that is not quite sadness and not quite regret, but lives in the space between them. That is what the safe life costs. Not everything all at once, just slowly. The appetite for more, the belief that more was even possible. The version of you that used to reach for things without calculating every way they could go wrong first. So here's the question I actually want to ask you. What is your earthquake going to be? Because at some point, the cave stops working. Not because you found the courage to leave. Usually it is because something happens that the walls cannot keep out. A loss, a change, a moment that was not your choice that makes everything you built around yourself suddenly irrelevant, and you are standing outside for the first time in years with no story about why you cannot move. That is where Grug ends up. Everything he built his life around is rubble. The rules are gone, and he has to face the choice he has been avoiding since the first time he felt afraid. Find another cave, or move. And when he finally says, "I have no idea where we are going," that is the most honest thing he says in the entire film.
Where are we?
I don't know. I'm not sure. Down. In a lower place.
Because that is what moving forward actually feels like after a long time of being safe. Not a movie moment, not some inspiring transformation, just terrifying, just uncertain, just the discomfort of having no story anymore about why you cannot go. Most people do not get an earthquake. Most people have to choose it, have to look at the life they built and decide that safe is not the same as alive, that the better moment is not coming, that the only moment that has ever existed is right now. And I am not going to pretend that is easy. The cave is comfortable. The world outside is genuinely uncertain. There is no guarantee that leaving works out. There is only the question of what you can live with, the risk of trying, or the certainty of spending the rest of your life wondering what would have happened if you did. I want to leave you with something real, not inspiration, not a motivational closer, just something true. The part of you that had the dream is still there. It did not leave when you chose the cave. It just got quiet. It stopped bringing things up, because every time it did, you said not yet, and eventually it stopped asking, but it is still there. Grug does not become a different person when he leaves the cave. He is still afraid. He is still the person who lost things and built walls around what was left. That does not disappear. He just stops letting it decide, and that is the only thing that was ever being asked of him. Not to stop being afraid, just to stop giving the fear the wheel.
I'm scared.
Never be afraid.
The cave kept you alive. It did its job. but you have been safe for long enough now. And somewhere underneath all the years of reasonable choices and closed doors and dreams you learned not to mention out loud is the version of you that still knows what it wanted, the one that still feels it sometimes, late at night, on Sunday afternoons, in the quiet moments when nothing is wrong and something aches anyway. That version of you did not give up. It is just waiting for you to decide the cave is done.